Hey there, welcome to day 1527 of What Chip for Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting and sharing the journey, just sharing my experience and some of the things and the lessons that I've learned as I've transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And then since the pandemic, a little bit of back and forth. And I will continue probably to be both online and offline in my life and in my business life, especially for the rest of my life, because I really like both. And I've always thought, even though I didn't do it when I was offline, that everybody should have an online presence. And the COVID pandemic, one of the good things coming out of the COVID pandemic is that it has definitely moved us ahead as far as acceptance of online businesses, acceptance of different ways of operating and doing our businesses that actually better serve the customer. When I think about things like shopping, and how we can just do all of our grocery shopping on our computer and then either have it delivered to our door or go pick it up. To me, I'm questioning why I didn't do that years ago. Now, because it wasn't available, right? For the most part, at least in my little town, it wasn't even an option until the COVID pandemic made it possible. And now I think there's probably as many people, and maybe fewer now that things have opened up and COVID's like, we're seeing it for what it really was. And people are getting out and about again, and maybe they are going back to the stores all the time. I am not. For the most part, I realize that if I can, go to Instacart, order my groceries, and then either pick them up or have them delivered. And I don't pick them up. I have somebody pick them up or have them delivered. That is so much easier for me. I save so much time not having to go to the store every week, right? Save at least an hour, probably 2 hours, dealing with just something as simple as that we all have to do as eating. So I'm always looking for things like that. So I'm loving the automation and the simplification of our lives that came out of COVID for some of us. Some people, their lives got a lot more complicated. The first year I was hanging out with my granddaughter every day. So my life was actually busier and more complicated. Now that she's in school, life's a lot simpler again. So always looking for ways to improve, right? Well, our idiom for Supersize Your Business today, doing spiritual idioms right along with the annual challenge, just to make it simpler and easier for me and more consistent and clear. And our idiom today was, can a leopard change its spots? Well, of course not. It's from Jeremiah in the Bible. And he said, can 13:23, can a leopard change its spots? Can an Ethiopian change his skin? No. And that was, we know there are certain things about us. I cannot change that I am 5'1.5". I'm never going to be taller. I'm probably shrinking with age, but that's something that I cannot. Physical attributes and aspects of us, it's pretty hard to change, right? Nowadays, apparently, you can change a lot of things with plastic surgery and with hormones and different drugs and treatments and things. You can change a lot of your physical aspects and characteristics. We can get fake eyelashes. We can wear makeup. I wear makeup. Why? Because I'd be frightening and scary if I didn't. I'm pretty frightening with it. Without, you'd really be horrified. So there are modifications we can make, but as far as massively changing, short of surgery or medical treatments or medical intervention and things, many things about us, many basic things about us are the same, right? I mean, I get my nails done because I like pretty nails. But a long time ago, I had horrible fingernails. But technology changed and made it possible with these powders and gels that my nails are strong and grow and actually look good these days. But they were a challenge for me when I was younger. But everything changes. And that's why I love this idiom because, yeah, there's some things we can't change. But I also believe that there's no such thing as can't. And that if there's a way to, if there's something we want to do, if we feel motivated or driven, or if we have a desire or an idea to do something, there's always a way to figure it out. There's always different, infinite possible ways to figure things out or for things to happen or things to change. I guess, before plastic surgery, what you were born with was what you got. Before makeup, what you looked like was what you looked like. Before a lot of these things that were invented, which all were invented by ideas, right? Somebody invented mascara. Somebody invented eyeshadow. Somebody invented these false eyelash technologies. Somebody invented faces and tattoos, and everything has always been invented, right? Somebody invented my awesome magnifying glasses. Thank you very much, by the way. So can a leopard change its spots? Maybe they can't change their spots, but leopards and animals don't have the mental capability that human beings do to change anything we want in our life. We get to actually create and change anything we want in our life, but it comes from within us. So one of the top 10, and actually the number one hardest thing to change according to a list on the internet, was yourself. And I'm like, it's the hardest because you have to decide to do it and you're 100% responsible for that. But it's also the easiest because you have 100% control over changing yourself. Nobody else has control over whether you change yourself or not, right? As much as we find ourselves in different situations where we feel like we're oppressed or under someone else's control, we still have the ultimate ability and possibility of impacting and changing ourselves, at least our thoughts and beliefs about something. Nobody can take that away from us unless we give that up to them. If we give up our personal power, that's the only way people can take our personal power, is if we choose to let them have it, right? If we stand up for ourselves, nobody can take that away. You know, they can kill us, but guess what? Then we still have our personal power because they didn't take it away from us. All right. So can a leopard change its spots? No, but is change an inevitable part of our life? Absolutely, yes. So I say embrace change. It's why I do the annual challenge. It's why I did the 30 plus day get up and go challenge during the whole pandemic and all last year, every other month for 30 days, because I want us to have an automatic way of dealing with changes and challenges that guarantees that we have the best possible result for us whenever we're faced with a change or challenge. I don't know about you, but I'm faced with a change or challenge every single day. And if I had to think through every aspect of that change or challenge before I made the decision, it would take up all the time in my life, right? Just like if I had to think about breathing or blinking my eyes, it would take up too much mental space and I wouldn't get anything else done. A real life example of that was after my sudden cardiac arrest, I decided I was going to really, really pay attention to my diet and my eating and what I consumed, right? And I did it for about a year, but it literally took hours a day to make sure I was getting and consuming and preparing foods in a way that was best for my body and best for my health. And I was probably in the best shape I've ever been in 2011, following my sudden cardiac arrest. But it also took way more time and energy than I was willing to devote to that. And I had to find simpler and easier ways to maintain my health without it taking hours a day, because I had other things I wanted to do, other things I wanted to accomplish. So we always have to realize that we have control over the things that we change or don't change. Now, as soon as we tell ourselves this is just the way I am, guess what? We've shut off change as a possibility for ourselves. And guess what? For the rest of your life, that's just the way you are. Why do I say that? Because that is one of my ex-husband's favorite sayings. This is just the way I am. It's the way I've always been. And if you believe that, and he totally believes that, guess what? He's still the exact same person. He's the exact same person I met and married. Even though we've been divorced, since 2015, he's still the same person. You know, we have kids and grandkids in common, so we still once in a while see each other. But I find it fascinating and interesting. And I guess in a lot of ways, I'm probably still the same person as well. But every time I notice that I'm being the person I don't want to be, I choose to look at it, figure it out, and say, okay, well, who do I want to be? How do I want to be? And that speaks to what we were talking about today. The S in the SOAP framework stands for story or situation. And the whole purpose of that step is to look at what is my current situation. And it's usually something that isn't ideal. It's what I don't want yet. So spiritually, we ask ourselves, what is something that I'm not 100% satisfied with yet, or about my spirituality, my beliefs, my feelings, my thoughts about my spirituality or my current situation. And then we identify using a future pacing strategy for negative and positive, whether we change or don't change, and imagining that to identify what do we want our future ideal state to be. So where are we now? Where do we want to go? Here's what we are doing currently. Here's what we want our situation to be, our spiritual situation. And that creates the gap that we'll fill in for the rest of the week using the rest of the SOAP framework. So those are the things I am working on online. Offline, and that's not all the things I'm working on online, just the things I'm able to share right now. Otherwise, I guess that's all I've got so many things I need to get to right now. Instead of detailing them out, let's have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. I was down with a cold the last couple of weeks, so I'm just still catching up. Ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and realize change is inevitable. Changes are 100% our personal responsibility. We can choose to change. We can also choose not to change. But we also then need to take personal responsibility for everything in our life, which is super duper hard, by the way. Everything in our life, every area, every aspect in our life, and then decide if we want to change or not. But if we decide not to change, then we're accepting things the way they are, and that we're saying that that's okay. We don't ever have to change, but then we have to accept and be grateful for the way things are so that we don't go into a downward spiral. All right, have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.